How Marion Works, a podcast series dedicated to informing you of the inner workings in all areas of Marion government and public services. Thank you for listening. Hello and welcome to Season 1, Episode 2 of How Marion Works. I am your host, Layla Price Bodkin, and this is going to be an episode, A City on the Move. I'd like to invite you to listen to this podcast on all major platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, and all the other major platforms. Also, follow us at cityofmarion.in on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok. You can listen to How Marion Works podcasts, and you can also visit our website, howmarionworks.com. So I want to welcome two very special guests to this episode 2 podcast, A City on the Move. It's called A City on the Move because we are talking to the transportation department. Woo-woo. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
So we have Jeff Edwards. You are the Director of Transportation.
Director of Transportation, yes.
And we also have with us Cory Rolph, and he is the city mechanic. So welcome to you.
Thank you.
We're going to start off with a fun little question. And I kind of gave you an idea of what I was going to ask, so I'm not putting you on the spot. But I already know what you're going to say, Jeff, but what is the sports team that you follow and that you love?
Let me see. The Duke Blue Devils.
Okay.
Basketball.
And that is no question. And I hear they're doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, they're doing good. They've lost 2 games, real close, Kentucky and Kansas. But I think we're on like a 9-game winning streak, so we're doing real well.
Nice. So what made you start to follow Duke?
Well, I was an Indiana fan for years. You know, my brother played for Indiana. But in 1990, UNLV and Duke played in the championship game. UNLV beat them by 30 points.
Okay.
So the next year in the semifinals, Duke and UNLV played again. Same teams.
Huh.
The same people.
What are the chances?
Yeah, and Duke beat them. And I was like, they have something special.
Wow. How long ago was that, did you say?
1991, yep. And then they returned back in 92 and repeated.
So ever since you've been a loyal Duke fan.
100%.
I hear a lot of the chatter around the office. So when you actually fill out a bracket, though, Jeff, are you actually taking Duke to the championship and winning it all, or are you actually just kind of hoping that they're going to win?
Oh, no. Every year I put them down. They have a chance every year. They won in 91, 92, 2001, 2010, and 2015. So I think we're ready to win this year.
I think it kind of helps when you actually put that on the bracket, that you are faithful that your team is going to win. Yeah. Well, cool. How about you, Cory? Do you follow sports? Do you have?
I follow the Steelers.
Oh, do you? Nice.
Which is anti-Indy. So.
Yeah. It's like, okay. Wah, wah. Kyren was on it. I was like, the
I'm
Steelers.
a glutton for punishment here. So every year I root for them. Every game I feel frustrated. And at the end of the year, I think maybe next year.
Now, are you from the area? Are you from Pittsburgh?
Nope. I watched them when I was in junior high, and Bam Morris and Neil O'Donnell. I watched Jerome Bettis pound that football, and I guess I've been hooked on the way they play ever since. It's dirty, and I like it. Well,
yeah, they play dirty all right. I remember getting so upset watching a lot of those games where they beat the Colts, and it's like, that's unfair, whatever they would do. And but yeah, I mean, it's good to have a team that you love, even though you might get picked on a lot at the office.
Well, I don't know. Like, I like the Indianapolis Colts too. I mean, when they play, it's not really a lose-lose for me.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's going to win, and I don't go against the other one.
Well, I love that we just kind of got warmed up there and we can get into your department because there is actually a lot to talk about and how Marion works with the transportation department. Jeff, I wanted to start out by just asking about your background. You can even start where you were born and raised and kind of go from there.
Well, I was born and raised in Muncie in the Whiteley neighborhood. I went to Longfellow Elementary. I went to Keener Middle School and Muncie Central Bearcats High School. I moved over here in Marion, and I've graduated in 73. I moved over here probably in 74, which is about 51 years ago.
Have you been in Marion ever since?
Yes.
Isn't that something? Wow.
This was where my job was at RCA.
Okay.
I worked there for 31 years, and they shut down. So I went to Noblesville and worked at Firestone for 5 years. Hate to say they shut down. And then I went to the Juvenile Detention Center here in Marion for 7 years. And then the previous mayor, Jess Allenbaugh, had an opening for transit director, and I had worked with him years ago, and he gave me a call and gave me a couple interviews, and him and Mike Flynn thought I would be good enough to take the job.
So that's quite different from being the director of the Juvenile Detention Center, right? You were thrown into a new world.
Right. I actually wasn't a director there. That was Brenda Chambers.
Oh, okay.
I worked under her, but I was...
You were considered one of the
supervisors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so how has your experience been working for the city of Marion, all in all?
It's been great.
You are very passionate about your job.
I'm very passionate every day. So it's been awesome.
I have had the privilege of working with you since that whole time. So I've gotten to know your role as a leader and how you lead, and I think it's excellent. You have one of the best morales in all the departments of the city. You have a big department. So how many people would you say that you have?
Well, we have 17 people, counting our administrative assistant, and then we have the grant person, which is Chuck Martindale. He helps out a lot with our grants and NDOT. So it's a lot.
He's hanging on, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hanging on one more year. So
one more year, he keeps saying. He's quite an asset to
we're in the process
the
maybe to getting somebody trained.
Okay.
That's going to be very difficult because he's definitely well needed.
How Marion Works is sponsored by the City of Marion. This podcast covers the inner workings of city government to better serve you. Yes, you have a lot of great people. You have your bus drivers. You also have a city mechanic that's under your department umbrella, and that is Cory Rolph here today. And I just kind of wanted to start by asking you where you were born and raised and your journey in life.
Oh, okay. I was born here MGH and been here my whole life.
Wow.
So grew up in Bucktown, and then
shout out.
And then my mom moved to Gas City for about 4 or 5 years with my stepdad, and then we moved out into the county and been outside city limits, but in Grant County for 43 years.
Wow. And so you've been with the city for how long?
Oh, this is the day I was born.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a very general question that I asked. I didn't realize that you have been working for the city transportation department for how long? Has it been about 4 or 5 years?
Oh, I'd say close to 7.
Okay.
I lost track because I have so much fun.
Well, good. You do. You are so much fun. And I am going to give you a shout out for volunteering at our Second Harvest tailgates that we have. I know you really enjoy helping the community. And I know Jeff Edwards is so basically, I don't have the word right now, but just you you encourage that kind of community involvement with your department. And,
Absolutely.
And so we as the city, we help out with those Second Harvest Food Bank tailgate food distributions. And I'm very grateful that we have that participation, that we can kind of have a little team every fourth Tuesday and go out there and help out. So that creates a little bit of a change of pace for your job, which is good.
Absolutely.
But you do the mechanics for all city vehicles, correct? It's not just the transportation vehicles?
No. It's there's another mechanic that works for the street department, and he does the street department vehicles, and I believe the police department outsourced theirs because the other mechanic he went to another job.
Well, man, and that's a lot of extra vehicles to take care of. And that would make you go crazy if you had to do all of the vehicles, because
they definitely
need maintenance.
There'd be a pay raise involved in that one.
Yeah. You'd be working 24/7 too. Absolutely. So actually, now that I kind of have a bit of a background for each of you, Jeff, I would love for you to just explain what the transportation department entails. Like, what is it? Is it city buses, and kind of how that operates?
Well, we have 5 buses that go out at 7 a.m. They have 2 routes each. So we actually cover the whole city of Marion. There's nowhere in the city of Marion that we don't cover. Then we have 2 to 3 vehicles that do the ADA, which is the disability buses, American Disability Act. And we have over 300 applicants that are able to use that. So we stay pretty busy on that. We pick them up. Once they meet the criteria, they'll call in. They have 24 hours to 2 weeks to make an appointment. Then they call in and make their appointment, and we'll pick them up at their house, take them to their appointment, and then pick them back up at their appointment and take them back home.
That's very good that we offer that. And I have to say, it is a free service to the community, and it's been that way for a long time.
Yeah, I think it's been that way since 2010, maybe, somewhere in there.
And how is that possible? How are you able to offer this free service?
Grant money, NDOT, federal, state, grant money.
Yeah. So what are your buses like? If you want to describe what your buses are like to someone who has not been on a city bus before.
Cherry.
Cherry.
They're very well taken care of.
Nice.
As Cory is saying.
They are heated.
They're heated,
cool.
air conditioned, clean, very well taken care of. A 16-passenger bus.
And they are also ADA accessible, correct?
All buses are ADA accessible. They have a wheelchair lift. So we're a great system.
And people can feel safe on the bus because there are cameras to where they feel safe.
Yeah, we have cameras on. We have 5 cameras on each bus, so we cover the whole bus, and 3 inside, 1 on the door, and then 1 on the outside.
And they cover sound too, so.
Nice. Well, I think that's really impressive, and I also love the fact that you are in a normal rotation of getting brand new buses. So you have how many new buses at this time?
Well, we just got 4 new buses and 2 new vans. We just started the vans last year. This year we started the vans because we thought on the 88, they're just 88 vans, and because we thought we could save money on gas and upkeep. So we went that way. This is the first time this has ever happened here in Marion.
And you're already seeing those savings.
Yeah, we're seeing the savings. I think we said, 1,200 the first 5 months?
Yeah, so, I mean.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
And that's going to continue, and it's just a nice option. They're probably a little bit more, I want to say, more comfortable for that purpose of ADA.
For most of them, it was a challenge at first, for the bus drivers and the passengers, but they have adjusted, and because we were picking up one or two people on a 16-passenger bus.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, I don't want to say a waste, but, we could make a lot of savings with these vans.
So if someone wants to know what all the routes are for the city buses, I know for a fact that they can go to the city website, cityofmarion.in.gov, and they can find the transportation department under the government section and just find all of the routes. They can be printed off that way. And then you guys also have your central downtown depot where anyone can come get a route schedule, correct?
Right at the dispatch area.
Yes, and that is at 2nd and Adams. It's a
Right.
really
202.
nice facility.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Dispatchers and mechanic, everybody's involved in keeping it clean and up, kept up.
Nice. So are there any other, I know that you have to stay compliant in order to make improvements, to offer the free service. So is there anything you wanted to tout on how you've improved over the years, or anything that you're challenged with right now that you wish could be improved?
Well, we improved on safety. I don't want to say when I started, it was kind of helter-skelter, say. So safety-wise, we got control of that. And then as far as compliance, in the end of 23, we the federal audit, we aced it. And that's hard when the federal comes in and you don't have any deficiencies. That's kind of unheard of. And then the drug and alcohol.
Excellent work. And that's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot to prepare to have those reports for, is it NDOT? And you also have to do those for the federal government.
Right. And our administrative assistant, Pam Lemming, and Chuck Martindale worked real hard also to get that accomplished.
Yeah.
And as far as the drug and alcohol, we aced it in 24. It was an audit. And then the state compliance review was in June of 2024, and we no deficiencies on that one. So the improvement that we need is just to keep that up, to stay in compliant, which is very difficult because it's just a lot of different components that go along with keeping compliant.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have another fun question here, just to have some fun with another icebreaker question before we get into a couple other topics and wrap up our podcast. So our next question for you guys, we'll start with Jeff. Do you have a favorite restaurant? And it doesn't even need to be in Marion.
Wow.
It's a lot to choose
well,
from,
yeah,
which is good.
I'd like to eat. I think Red Lobster is probably one of them.
Yeah. Their biscuits. Yeah, that's
see
definitely
people like
warranted.
that. Yeah. And I'm gonna
Tell Mayor Morrell about that.
I'm
Red Lobster.
gonna tell Texas Roadhouse also here when they brought it in. It's good.
Oh yeah, they are definitely. They're always packed.
Yeah, they actually did good.
Yeah,
they're doing good.
They are going strong. Okay, Corey, do you have a favorite restaurant?
I have a couple.
Okay, good.
All right, now my first one was Rosie's.
Oh
And
yes, Little Italy.
When they shut down, because I'd been going there with my parents since I was old enough to go in there for my birthday. So when they shut down, that kind of ruined things for a little bit until we could figure something else out. But since then, I've graduated to other, like Sakura, like sushi.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, we can't get enough. I didn't even know sushi stood for sour rice. I just thought it was the fish part, but...
That surprises me about you, that you love sushi.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only kind of sushi that I haven't really enjoyed is it had actual eel on it. Oh. And that one was rough for me.
Oh, yeah.
I ate it because I paid for it.
Yeah.
But it was rough. And then, you got deep fried sushi, if you ever had that. That's on a different level right there. I know it's not good for you.
Did they offer that there?
Yeah, but it is on a different level. Like,
Really?
Yeah. Whole nother level.
So you're there regularly. Are you a regular out there?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we even bought our own like cutlery to make our own sushi at home.
Is that right? So
Yeah.
you can actually do that.
Yeah, we got the super sharp
home.
knives where you don't make mistakes.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds cool. That sounds like a good challenge to try to do because that's an art, really.
It is, and I try to make it that way also because I don't know. There's something about the way that it looks on the plate and the way you do it in front of especially in front of your spouse when she's just sitting there looking at you and you're doing the slivers and trying to make it just right.
Right. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is fun. So I can just imagine you doing that now.
Yeah, I pull my hair back.
The bus drivers were worried when they knew myself and Cory was doing this. They were kind of worried.
So that answers my question. When you have some challenges, Jeff, usually it's Cory. I'm just kidding.
It is. And keep me locked up 90% of the day.
Oh, goodness. I bet, it's to see that back and forth because a lot of us, we work in City Hall for the most part, and I don't really get to have that regular interaction with you guys, but you have a lot of fun over there. And so you kind of have your own world and your own morale, and that's great. So I don't know if you wanted to mention any other aspects of transportation. I have something in mind that I definitely wanted to cover. It is the events that you do that are just in addition to your normal routes. When there are a couple of special events that the city has where you really go above and beyond to offer a shuttle service for that. So,
Yes.
Jeff, do you want to name?
Yeah,
You got him.
we do the Easter pageant
Yes. Okay.
and the airstrip attack, which is out at the airport.
Now, I have to point out that the airstrip attack is so much fun. It happens in August of every year. I think you had told me that was your favorite as far as getting to be a part of that and offer that special service out at the airport.
It's big because really the only way they can get from the parking lot to the event is on our bus.
Yeah.
Unless they have a special pass to drive in. So we do thousands,
And that's 3 days in a row
3 days.
where it's nonstop. And I know it seems like it's a monotonous job, but the bus drivers do get to switch out. They get to take maybe a little break, and it's just a wonderful service that we can work with that event organizer to help things really run smoothly.
I kind of messed up the first couple of years. I didn't have enough bus drivers, so I put the pressure on them. So now I make sure we have plenty of buses and plenty of bus drivers out there because it's really big.
Yeah, it started small, but I knew it was going to get big the first year. I was like, this thing is going to get big.
Yes, it really is.
And it has grown exponentially every year.
Yeah, it is really something to applaud here in Marion. And a lot of people still don't know about it, so you can actually find out more about Airstrip Attack at airstripattack.co. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
They would add more to it.
Racing down the airport runway. And we still hold the world record of 260 miles an hour. Right here in Marion, Indiana, that world record was set, and it goes strong today. So maybe it will be broken this year.
I think they like the track. That's why they keep coming. They keep coming back because these world records are being set there. So it's something about Marion and the airport that.
Yeah, they mentioned they were first attracted to this airport because of the grip of the runway, and since then, that is what it is, which makes it such a great experience for all the drivers. But in working with all of us, and we always have regular volunteers that help the event run smoothly, in addition to all of the in-kind sponsorship that the city provides. So, Jeff, did you want to mention any other events?
Well, we always 1812.
Yes, that's a big
That's
one.
huge. Now we don't know. They canceled it last year, so really it's up in the air if we're going to be needed since it's moved to Gas City.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's up in the air, but we've done that for years.
Yeah, that's true. And then the other one that I want to mention that just happened last month was a special shuttle to the Walkway of Lights. And that's a special event that actually kind of helps you stand out on your own as the transportation department, because people will meet in the central location of the downtown depot, and where
Yes.
a lot of fun things are happening.
Yeah, we kind of did more this year. We had live music. We had Santa Claus, and we always have snacks. So it's getting better. Next year we'll try to do more, and also we take them through the park and free.
Yeah,
Well,
that happens every year, and it
every
is
year.
a free option to either those who don't have transportation at all and can get to the downtown depot somehow.
We have
and
some that
go for
drive down
free.
there. Yeah, we have some that drive, park. And
Oh,
go.
great.
So
Just to be a part of that experience.
and then they get the opportunity to see the terminal. They get an opportunity to see our buses, because a lot of times you get a wrong feeling on what the buses are, what they're about.
Yeah, there can be a stigma. I don't know if it exists, but with a lot of people that live here. But my inclination is that stigma has been wiped out a long time ago for people who live here and know how great our buses are and our transportation is.
For the most part. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, keep doing great work. I don't know if we want to mention anything else, but I've really enjoyed getting to know about transportation and helping inform the community about the transportation department. You can definitely find more information on our website, and that is cityofmarion.in.gov. You can find the routes. You can learn more about how the transportation department operates. You can learn about the paratransit ADA service that we offer. Very, very much proud of your department and all of your hard work. I know you're proud of your team.
Yeah, I'm very proud of each and every one of them, and they're the ones, they're the backbone that keeps this going. And I would like to say, none of this, as far as me, could happen. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I have to.
Oh my goodness, yes.
That's number one.
You can't get through this life without having faith.
No. And then I like to just put a shout out to my wife, because she has to deal with all the phone calls when we're on vacation or when we're out to lunch. She has to deal with my busy schedule. So I just got 2 words for her, and it's simply beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Gotta give her props. Oh my goodness. Thank you both. I'm very glad that we had this conversation. Did you guys have a good time?
Yeah, it's fine.
Absolutely.
Oh, good. Well, we're very glad to have this podcast, How Marion Works, and I hope that this gave you a sense of how the transportation department operates. And you can follow us, follow your social media accounts and website. I want to encourage the listeners to listen to this podcast on all of the major platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, and all the other major platforms where podcasts are streamed and downloaded, and be on the lookout for future episodes. So for Jeff Edwards and Cory Rolph, I'm Layla Price Bodkin, and we will see you next time. Thank you for listening to the How Marion Works podcast. We hope you'll join us next time.